What can you say about this melody? So it has a cute key/block sound. It's rather happy and uplifting, and it's actually really simple. And that's kind of what we're going for. Today I'm going to show you how to make yandere type beats. And first of all, the chords. When you're working in the major scale, for this melody I chose B major, the chords you want to use the most are the major 4th, major 5th, and then minor 6th. And then on top of these chords, you want to lay down a major melody. So we're going to use a lot of the B note, the A sharp note, and the F sharp note. So the 1st, the 7th, and the 5th. Why these 3 notes specifically? I don't know, but they work. It just sounds like yandere. You can also add the 2nd sometimes. And sometimes the 3rd, but don't overuse these. That's the whole theory. I came up with something like that. But that's obviously not all to the melody, so we want to add some leads, some pads, some stuff like that, right? Just to complement the main melody. That's too complicated. How'd you do this? This is just a normal lead. That sounds like that. It has a lot of delay on it, but it's really just a saw wave, and we're using crow's beat, this preset right here, 1BK. And again, we're using a lot of the B note, the A sharp note, and the F sharp note, because that's the 1st, that's the 7th, and that's the 5th. That's just the unspoken rule of making yandere melodies. And overall, like all this like ivvY League stuff, drinking stuff, like hyperpop. Also, a sign lead is very popular in these types of beats, so like this. And again, a lot of the B note, a lot of the A sharp note, a lot of the F sharp note, and also yandere really likes to use pianos. So I added this piano melody, which also uses a lot of the B note, the A sharp note, and the F sharp note, and I just copied the chord progression. So this piano is really high, it plays in a higher octave, and also has a lot of delay on it. I added some halftime, I added this crow's beat again. Fruity Reverb 2 is a great reverb for pretty much anything actually. It has a very specific sound, but if you just want a quick reverb, then that's probably your go-to. Remember to EQ your sounds, just to cut out all of the low end so it's not messy. It's always nice to have a Reese pattern, so just following the chord progression. Alright, look at this drum pattern. As you can hear, it's very cluttered, and it actually has a reverb on it. Like every single drum here has reverb on it. This is really important, and it's sort of a signature sound of yandere. You can also notice there's a lot of open hats, and there are these stomps. These stomps are also sort of a signature sound of yandere. They're very characteristic. They really help the drums hit. Very simple hi-hats. And now this open hat. Now how do you even come up with such a ridiculous open hat pattern? Personally, I like to go off hi-hat midis. So I just have like ready hi-hat midis in my library, and I can just drag them onto the open hat and see if that works, right? Remember to play with the pitch. Don't just have the open hat on C all the time. A lot more claps than usual. And more snares. Simple kick pattern. Hold on, Nightiger, did you just add reverb to a kick? So usually it's a very bad idea to add reverb to a kick, because we don't want to have our reverb sound to have low frequencies, because that's just going to sound really messy and muddy. But in the plugin Valhalla Vintage Verb, there's such thing as a low cut. This is also in the Fruity Reverb 2. You can use the L cut knob right there, so you can put reverbs on your kick no problem, as long as you cut off the low end in the reverb. We have some cymbals and the crashes. And the pattern for these crashes is basically just copied from the kick pattern. It just helps the kick hit a bit harder. So just another layer of high end on top of the kick. I also like to make 808 patterns for my beats when it comes to yandere type beats. I know some people don't use 808s in yandere type beats, they just go for Reese basses, and that's also okay. It really depends on your preference. I like my yandere beats to hit a little bit harder, but if you're making like a calmer, like a chiller, like slower, like 120 BPM yandere type beat, then you might consider not using an 808 at all. It really depends on your preferences. I know it's done both ways. And I use a lot of slide notes, especially like at the end of a long note. I just like it to slide down. And some special effects I like to add are effects with the EQ on the master. So like before the drop, I'll have a dedicated EQ that basically just sweeps the high filter like so. And you can do it with an automation clip. I also like to add rain ambience. It really helps the beat stay more mellow and just like fill up some of the high end. Just make some noise just so it's not too empty. And also dedicated transitions are great. In most drum kits that are like Drain Gang / Lovebug / yandere styled, you're gonna find very like crystally transitions. I'm not really sure how to describe it, but they should sound something like this. And all of it together sounds very yandere. Thank you so much for watching. I personally just want to inspire others to make similar music because I really enjoy it and I want more of it. And if you know some other tips that could help someone make a yandere type beat, then please let me know in the comments and let's make a community together. Let's grow together. I'll see you very soon.